Introducing now in the corner of Case's Mini Storage Plaza, wearing camouflage boxers and smoking a cigar, hailing from Canandaigua, New York, Corporal Tim Thornton's, the all-new, the Military Exchange. The Military Exchange is proud to present over 5,000 feet of pure 100% military. The Military Exchange is your source for all your military needs and proudly supports active reserve and former military, VFWs, Legions and Leagues, Boy Scouts, Sea Cadets, Civil Air Patrol, and your family. Presenting cigars fresh from our plantation of the Dominica, collectibles, t-shirts, hoodies, and ball caps, rank and insignia uniforms for parade, security, and law enforcement, camouflage clothing, outerwear, wool pants, parkas, and field jackets, camping backpacks, tents, and sleep systems, vintage clothing and gear, Class A's, past and present, tactical and survival gear, antiques and airsoft, brand new and pre-enjoyed military camouflage and boots. Check out our military talk show at IronMikesMX.com. 5,000 feet to pure 100% military in Canandaigua, New York. Welcome back to the Military Exchange, and I'm your host, Corporal Tim Thornton, and I'm here tonight with the Tea Party from Otero County, Canandaigua. And I'm here with Armand, Marty, and Rhonda, and we're going to talk about Common Core. I'd like to start with Armand. Armand, could you please tell us what is Common Core?
Okay, I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. Common Core is a rigorous list of standards that our population, our school population, which will be pre-K through 12, is supposed to live by as far as school goes. I went on the website. I figure if I want to find out what Common Core is, go right to the source. So I went on to the New York State Department of Education.gov website, as well as the one that they refer us to check. It's called engagednewyork.org. And I checked out the different standards. Last year, Common Core rolled out the English standards and the math standards. There was a social studies piece with the English standards that covered literacy. This year, they're going to roll out a social studies piece to Common Core. So when you go on their websites and you read the details, the first two pieces are 80 pages each on Acrobat. The second piece that's coming out this year for social studies is over 50 pages. So they talk about things that we probably learned back when we were in school. There's a lot of wiggle room in their explanations, but the idea behind Common Core is to prepare our students, again, pre-K through 12, for a global economy, this is their words, as well as a college or career readiness. So that's Common Core in a nutshell.
Okay, now Marty, what would you say is the problem with Common Core?
Well, I think one of the major problems is that it's been called Race to the Top, but if you go to truthinamericaneducation.com, some of the proponents in there say it's really a race to the middle. A lot of the standards have been lowered. We have a lot of states that have better standards than Common Core already, and many states were equal to Common Core, so why create something? Somebody who looked at the math said that it was going to put our graduating high school students 2 years behind other schools in the global economy around the world. The English literary stuff has been taken out and replaced, so all the classic literature that people grew up on in the past is not in there anymore, so it's not really preparing the youth for a good college education. The reading level that is necessary in order to graduate from high school for Common Core is 7th grade reading level. So I don't know how that is a race to the top. Let's take a look at some of the proponents that are involved. There's a national group, or a National Assessment of Education Progress, NAEP tests, middle school and elementary kids around the country. So that already is a standardized test. The SAT and ACTs are administered to high school students, another standardized test. So why are we creating a curriculum across the country that is standardized when we already have several? One of the issues I take issue with is that the 10th Amendment says the states have autonomy to run their own state the way they think they should. Well, in order for the states to qualify for some of the stimulus money, they were wanting to get out of the No Child Left Behind. In order to get the waiver, you had to agree to take on Common Core. Isn't it ironic that the U.S. Education Department pumped in $350 million into two separate agencies that were designed to help implement this program? And another corporation, Achievement Corporation, was really a big proponent for all the creating a lot of the curriculum, and the Gates Foundation gave a lot of money to that sector. You know, and I wonder what is in it for private corporations to be so involved in the Common Core. Is it really an interest in education, or is it really an interest in capitalism for themselves? So those are just some things to look at. If you want more information, you go to truthinamericaneducation.com, and there certainly is more information there for you to take a look at.
Thank you, Marty. And now, Rhonda, in regards to Common Core, what can we do?
Well, first thing we can do is what Marty alluded to, is we could learn more about it, educate ourselves. You can go to Google, just Google Common Core, and you can find a wealth of information about it. We want to be educated voters when we go into that polling booth. So the candidates for New York State Governor have opposing views on Common Core, so you want to know who stands for what. And if you don't like what you see when you go to Google and find information, in New York State you can go to, you can probably just Google Stop Common Core in New York State, and you'll find a couple of organizations that are working to hopefully repeal it. There are some states in the nation that initially signed on that decided this isn't going to work for our state, isn't going to work for our students. So they have, their governors have repealed it. The next thing you can do is certainly get out to vote this November. There's going to be a ballot line called Stop Common Core. So if it's a #1 issue for you, you can certainly vote for the candidate that's on that ballot line as well. And here's something that you can do immediately about a piece of Common Core, and that is there's a petition going out. It is called the First Amendment petition for redress of grievance. And this petition is going to our governor, to the state education commissioner, and to every member of the New York State Board of Regents. And what they are grieving is the fact that here in New York State, our New York State education law requires that our students be taught, that every student in public and private education be taught the history, meaning, and significance of our United States Constitution, its amendments, the Declaration of Independence, and the New York State Constitution and its amendments. The law also requires that our students be taught respect for the United States flag and for its proper use and display. Now, there are no guidelines in the Common Core standards that address that. So basically, there's no accountability for our teachers to have to teach those things under Common Core, which I think is a big issue. It means that possibly our students are going through high school now, or even elementary grades, and not learning about the foundation of the foundation of our country. You can find this petition on a website called WeThePeopleNY.org, or you could always send us an email, ctpp@reagan.com, and I can get that information out to anybody who would need it. And I think the other thing too is, as parents, if you have children in school, that you also ask your teachers, or your children's teachers, if they are learning these things, or they, as school is coming up, if they're planning on teaching the children this, and maybe even addressing the principal as well to see if that is being taught in the school. To me, Our Constitution is what makes our country great. That makes who we are as a nation unique from any other nation that ever has occurred or ever has existed throughout the world and throughout history. And it's because of our Constitution and form of government that we've been a successful nation and been able to share that success throughout the world. Just like Ronald Reagan said, a shining city on a hill. So we want to leave that to our kids. So.
One more question for the group. Is Common Core trying to influence homeschooling at all?
It's included, yeah.
It is
Yeah,
included?
when I was doing research, I noticed, that private schools, Catholic schools, and homeschools will be influenced by Common Core. They didn't say exactly how. So I'm sure some of the parents are concerned because of a privacy issue and a First Amendment issue, especially the religious schools. So that's a lot of this is going to be rolled out gradually. It's like the boiling water. You know, you start with cold water and you throw the frog in, and then you turn the heat up gradually, and before you know it, the frog is ready to be eaten. So that's kind of how it's going.
Good. All right, well, that's a good question, and that's kind of what the answer I expected, unfortunately. Thank you. This is the tea party for Canandaigua, and that is Armin, Marty, and Rhonda, and they're going to be a regular twice a month or more or less, and we hope you look forward to catching them on the video at the Military Exchange Talk Show on YouTube, and of course on our website, ironmikesmx.com. Thanks, folks.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Tim.
Yep.